Hi, I'm Candace and I'm an artist with Saint Beauty, and today I'm just going to show you my easy 3D foundation routine. So I'm just going to get my hair out of my face here a little bit, and I am going to start by priming my face. I like to use, it's called Stay Spray. Actually, I think now it's just called the setting spray. With Saint, we have this setting spray and it works amazing as a primer as well. A lot of our products do more than one thing, which is what I really like, because I just feel like you get more for your money and you have less clutter. As you'll see with our one compact system, which is what I'm going to do my face from today. You can do it all from this one palette. The reason I like to prime my face is because I have very dry skin right now, especially with it being winter and stuff like that. I used to have kind of normal to oil, or I would say pretty much normal to combination skin. I would get sometimes oily in my T-zone. Once in a while that still happens, but and I don't have like really flaky skin or anything like that, but I just find that as I'm aging, it's just more dry. And so priming it is really important with the cream foundation, because it really needs to absorb into your skin, and it won't do that if it's super dry. So if you have kind of combination to oily skin, you'll want to moisturize or prime. So I also moisturize, sometimes I'll moisturize right before, but I still like to prime it with the setting spray when I remember. If you are moisturizing and you have normal to or combination to oily skin, I would moisturize and wait about 20 minutes and then do your makeup. And then you could still choose to prime or not. That's up to you. Okay, so today I'm going to be using, for application, I'm going to use the Buff brush. This is a really nice brush. If you're wanting a little bit fuller coverage, if you want more of that airbrush look. Also in winter when it's cold, it kind of gives you that extra, it feels like it just a little bit of protection on your face. However, it's still not heavy, it's still not cakey, it doesn't feel gross or heavy. So it's just a way to have just a different application. Some of our other brushes, they give more of a light to medium coverage. You can see here because the bristles are looser, and these ones are more dense. So that's what I'm going to do, but I'm still going to use this brush to kind of blend it all together because it's just really awesome for blending. So today, the first thing I'm going to do though is do a little bit of color correcting. I don't need too much today. I'm just going to take a little bit of my highlight here called Sunlit. I'm just using the small end here. So you can see you can use your brush for multiple things. And I just like to kind of use this as a base before I do eyeshadow, so that when I go to do my eyeshadow later, which is in a different video, I will have kind of a neutral base. If I didn't want to wear eyeshadow today, and I'm just doing my foundation, I still feel like I do have some mascara on right now, and I did fill in my brows, then I still feel like I have a finished look for the day. I'm just going very natural. But it just gives me that coverage of kind of a neutral base without seeing all the hyperpigmentation and different tones in my skin. I do get a little bit of redness here. I don't have terribly much today, thank goodness. I do like to use my little brush cleaner, tile cleaner here. Our brushes are designed to not hold in too much makeup, but when, you know, sometimes you just like to get, if you didn't quite get it all off, it's nice to just brush it off. Or if you're going to like from a bright color or something like that, especially with the eyeshadows when you're really working with colors. With the foundation, it's pretty good. It just tends to not hold in. Okay, I'm not even gonna worry about my under eyes because you're gonna see what I'm gonna do there in a minute. So now I'm gonna use the bigger end here. I'm gonna go into my contour first. I'm using the really scary dark color called Indigo. It's not scary actually. It might look like it, but I promise you, unless you're like the fairest, if I match you to like the fairest color, which would be linen, in our highlights, most people can wear this color. A lot of people can wear multiple contour colors, and sometimes it's just nice to change it up. So sometimes for an everyday look, I'll go with olive, which is like a warmer, like really lighter contour. It doesn't show up as much, but I really like indigo because once it's all blended, it just gives you that a bit more definition. Is just a little bit more obvious, but yet it's just like a flawless finish, and it's just so warm. It just gives me that definition I'm looking for, especially because with contouring, we're just trying to play with like shadows and light basically, and we're doing some trickery here, some facelift trickery, if you will. Double chin. If you got that, you don't have to go for surgery. You can just do this. So you're just gonna, like, contour basically is just mimicking a natural shadow. We already have sort of a contour in our faces. I'm kind of going above my natural contour line. I'm just going a little bit higher, more like onto the cheekbone, but you can go underneath. There's nothing wrong with just experimenting and see what works for you. And depending on your face shape, you may want to go down here. That's another way you can contour. So you can always ask me and I can help you with that. And if you already have the makeup, feel free to experiment. Now this is an optional step, which is nose contouring. You definitely don't need to do this if you don't want to. It's just a bit of a, again, playing with the sculpting and stuff. We'll just slenderize my nose a little bit. It's not that I hate my nose or I think it's super fat or anything like that. It's just, I like that, yeah, that just more defined look. And it's all gonna blend out. And then as well for your lips, to give that more of a natural pout, fuller lips, especially as we age. Our lips get thinner, everything shrinks and falls. So that's why we're trying to sculpt and do all the things. Okay, so it's looking a little crazy and that's okay. It's gonna, I promise you, it's gonna make sense. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my main highlight that's been matched to my skin tone, and everybody's is gonna be different. And so you're welcome to go on my website and like check everything out and see what the prices are and what the products look like. I absolutely welcome that. But please, there's actually lots of things you can buy without a color match, but please don't buy the foundation elements until you have a color match, because it's really, I mean, you could guess and maybe get it right, but we look at a lot of things and there's a lot of color science that goes into this, and so we really want you to be happy with what you have. Okay, so the final step is the brightening highlight. Now, I could use one even darker than this. Obviously, usually we match you to like a couple shades down from your main. This is several, but sometimes I like to go more dramatic, and I'm just really loving this one right now. It's called Versailles. It's one of the lightest shades in our collection of highlights, and it is quite warm, and I do tend to wear the warmer tones. I can actually wear some neutral highlights as well. I'm kind of a chameleon, but I do have the pink undertone, so it definitely, I look better, I think, especially in the winter. In the summer when I have a tan, I am definitely can wear the neutrals quite well, but in the winter when I'm quite pale, I definitely enjoy the warmer tones. And Versailles, even though it's one of our lighter ones, our other light highlights are called Linen and Moonlight, but they're very neutral. And what I like about this new one is it has just a little bit of pink, and so it works really well with my coloring. But again, just check with me before you order anything. I'm just checking in my other mirror here. So I'm going to do just a little bit of blending with this, but I'm going to finish it out with my blush and bronzer because I just really love how it blends everything together. So I'm just going to kind of do a general blending here. I'm going to kind of leave my contour for now, and I'll show you what I'm going to do there. And with the nose contour, I like to go right up into the eyebrows. Now this is very important here. You want to make sure you always don't forget this jawline and that you blend it out. Okay, so I'm just going to go in here and kind of finish that off. Make sure that everything is blended and there's no awkward lines. You really want to make sure that with your forehead contour that you blend into your hairline. Same with the temple area. And again, right here, you want to make sure you go down into the neck. As I said, I didn't really do much blending here with my contour because I don't want to over blend it and lose that line. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into my bronzer, and oops, I can just see that actually, before I do that, I'm going to do a little bit with my perfector sponge because this is a more full coverage, so I might have put a little bit too much on in some areas, but it does not matter. I don't have to worry about wiping anything off or starting over because my perfector sponge is going to fix everything for me. It's really amazing. Now, I'm gonna go in with the big fluffy end, and I'm gonna do big, big, big circles because there's a whole bunch of different size bristles and I wanna make sure they all get covered. And I'm just gonna go to the high points of my face where the sun would hit me if it was summertime and I was getting a nice sun-kissed little tan, dreaming of those days, because right now we're in the throes of winter. It's been really cold in a lot of places, including here in Kelowna, which it normally doesn't get that cold, but it does, or it has been right now. But it is going to be warming up this week a little bit, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to get outside more and actually enjoy the winter and what it has to offer. Fix my eyebrows here. Okay, so that's that. So I love the way, I like to also go into my neck and my chest just to kind of even that out. And you can keep adding with this makeup, it's very buildable. I mean, you want to keep it obviously looking not cakey, but with the bronzer it's translucent. So what I like to do is kind of like really blend it in and then maybe go over it with a little bit more if I just want some more warmth. Okay, I'm just gonna add a little bit more lip balm because my lips are super dry. We do have a lip conditioner. I don't have any myself yet, but I've heard it's amazing, so you can give that a try. I'm just gonna check my eyes here. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is my blush and my lip and cheek. One more thing, actually, sorry, I lied. Before I do that, I'm going to do a little bit of a trick with my lips. So I'm gonna go back into my contour again. Again, I love how you can use it for more than one thing. And I'm gonna put a dot there. And I'm also just gonna line a little bit here. So I was just checking in my other mirror. This is the multitasker. You need this brush in your life. It does so many things. It's got this little tiny, or this flat end. You can use it for different eyeshadow techniques. You can use it to apply your lipstick. And then the small end can be used to do this kind of defining work. It can also be used to just dab on, like for your color correcting, like if you have a blemish and you just want to get that one spot and nothing else, it's perfect for all that precision work. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tap until that blends in and looks natural. Just using my finger. The reason for that dot is it's just gonna create the illusion, and again, the shadow, it's gonna like do a lip flip, make my top lip look fuller. Okay, so for today's lip and cheek look, so our blush is called the lip and cheek because it's a lip color and a blush color. I'm gonna be using two today because I really like the combination of what these two look like. So this is my go-to favorite neutral, which is called Nude. And this is one of my favorite pinks. It's Baby Watermelon, but it is quite bright on its own. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like on its own first, just so you can truly see. I've shown the nude lots before probably, and I can show you that again, but just for today's purposes, I think most people can imagine what nude would look like, but maybe not this one because it always looks so different in the tin than on your lips. So I actually really like that color, and I feel comfortable going out with this. Like I like the pink, I like bright colors. I'm more bold than I used to be when it comes to lip color as I get older somehow, but I just want to tone it down and make it a different color. So I'm gonna add the nude, and what I love about this is it's just like such a pretty neutrally pink. It's kind of like a mauvey pink, kind of. So it just gives you a little bit more pink than just having the brown color of the nude. And now I'm gonna use both for my cheeks. So what I'm gonna do is just put a few dots of the Baby Watermelon and then a few dots of the nude. Don't need very much, and I'm just gonna use the small end of my blush and bronzer and just kind of tap or swirl or a combination of that into my skin. When you do the lip and cheek, it's gonna go above your contour line. So the whole point of this foundation is to be one layer. You don't have to go on top of everything. So everything is foundation level coverage. Your main highlight, your brightening highlight, your contour, and your lip and cheek are all foundation level coverage. So I might have had some of my main under there just because, you know, I blended it in. But essentially, if I was doing a cheetah hack where I show you the paint by numbers and I just put everything in place, which I will do again sometime in another video, I could essentially have my contour line and put my lip and cheek above that, and you would like that, it wouldn't need foundation underneath it. It wouldn't look like anything's weird because it is foundation level coverage. And I just love that because you end up with this one layer, but with 3D. So 3D sounds like you would be actually putting on a lot of layers, but it's actually the opposite, which is what I love. And again, I just like to go over it with my Perfector sponge one more time, just to make sure everything looks good. I'm not cakey. If you are seeing any texture, that means you might have too much on or you're the wrong color. But if you are the right color and you still see texture, then you're just going to want to get one of these and use it to get the excess off and push the rest in. And so finally, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to follow up with some illuminator. Now we do have cream illuminators, but we also have powder. An illuminator is just a final touch that gives you a little extra glow where the light can hit you. I was going to wipe my finger, but I think it'll be okay. I'll use my other hand. So I just like to, you can use this with the brush, or I just like to use it with my finger and just kind of put it in place. This just kind of goes above the blush area. It's kind of translucent, so it's not foundation level coverage. This is just an extra step. You don't need to do this. It's just that when the light hits you in a certain spot, it just gives you this little bit of a glow. You can add some to the tip of your nose. And right here on your Cupid's bow, where it kind of joins in with your lip color, you can also, I'm gonna see if this will work. Hopefully it's not a disaster. You can always use the center of your lip color. Oh no, that's nice. Just, if I haven't tried it before and I'm trying it on camera for the first time, I never know how it's gonna go. But yeah, you can also add it to your brow bone, but I'm gonna leave that for now because I'm gonna do my eyeshadow for another video. But I love using my illuminator in the center of my lip color when I'm done everything because it just gives it another dimension. So there you go. I feel like I'm done. I could go out like this. If my daughter calls me and says, I'm done work now, Mom, I wouldn't be like, oh no, I'm not done my makeup. I feel like I can go out. I feel like I'm done, but I am gonna work on my eyeshadow and make another tutorial for you guys. So I hope you have a great day and we will talk to you soon.